Our last assignment for the course, writing assignment number 5, is going to be slightly different than what you may have heard about in the past or even taken in the past. After the Texas Department of Education made some changes to all college core curriculum classes, one of the changes that was very significant to English 1301 is that no longer is this course based on research or a research-based course. Therefore, we will not be doing a big research paper. However, part of this course is to teach you how to learn to research and integrate some research, though that is not the primary purpose of the course. If you will read chapters 30, 31, 32, those will really help you get started for learning about research and how to research. This will also help you when you go on to future classes, because other classes will require research at some point in time. Now, with this paper, you are going to pick one of our 3 previous assignments. So far, we have completed writing assignment number 2, which was a descriptive narrative essay, writing assignment number 3, which is compare contrasting 2 visuals and analyzing those visuals, and then writing assignment number 4, cause effect or problem solution essay. You may pick from any of these 3 essays. I would suggest picking an essay that has a topic you could easily find information on. For example, if you had in your descriptive narrative essay something related to personal that maybe had to do with the topic of health related problems, and you could find plenty of information and research health problems. If you did compare contrast visual analysis, some people like to do topics on beauty. There is plenty out there to discuss and research about how visuals make us feel less beautiful because of the comparison that we have. Perhaps if you did a compare contrast for beer and alcohol, you can obviously find plenty of research out there about alcohol, so on and so forth. If you did a paper on cause effect or problem solution, again, most of the topics that you pick, there is going to be plenty of topics out there. So you're researching a topic that you've already written on and completed. You are just going to be finding information that will help support your topic and add to it. Now, when you do research and ultimately writing a research paper, you do use a variety of the rhetoric that we have learned throughout the course. You can use narrative, description, compare, contrast, cause, effect, problem, solution, argumentation. There are other rhetorics that we have not even covered that you can integrate into a research type paper. So again, you're not writing a new paper, you are adding research to a paper that you have already done. Does this mean that all you do is just throw in some quotes and you're done? No, you will have to rewrite your paper so that the information you integrate is clear, is cohesive, is well done. Now I will teach you guys how to access all of the internet and the research and the databases for this paper. When you begin to do your research, there are 2 areas that you will find your research. One will be through the library, and second, through websites. First, on the library, you can access the library several different ways. First of all, if you are accessing Lone Star College, you would go to the main page and then click on Libraries. There is a link where you can look at a library catalog, which will show you print options of journals and books, and you can also go to the research databases. Most students prefer the research database because it is either what they are used to, or it is because it's easier to access. Now, as mentioned on the website, for off-campus access, enter the 14-digit library barcode number located on the back of your college ID library card. No college ID library card, request a library card barcode number. Now, depending on when you go, it may take a day or two to request it online. The best way is to actually go onto a local campus. If you already have an ID card, you will have to actually activate that card for the library number to become correct. Now, this is for accessing the database from off campus. If you are on campus, you can access it using one of the computers on campus, whether you are at the library or you are in a computer lab. So there are many different options here. Another option is to go to a public library. Again, you can either go physically to the public library and you can access the computers there and you can access the databases there as well, or you can go to the websites. If you go to the website, again, you can access from home if you have a card. Now, Montgomery County, which is the county that I'm in, their website is www.countylibrary.org, and if you click on databases, it pulls up the same databases that you would have if you were also on the Lone Star website as well. The other web link, if you're Harris County, which is www.hcpl.net. Again, they have a link here, databases. They're all the same databases. There may be a few different, but for the most part, they are the same databases. So again, you can either go to these websites or you can go physically to a library. The advantage of going physically to the library is that the librarians are more than happy to help you if you have any problems or questions. I'm going to show you how to access the databases, the different types of databases that there are available. Okay, you can see the databases listed here by theme. You can also see the databases by title. Theme depends on what you are researching. If you were doing obviously something health related, you would want to go to health and medicine. If you're looking at something related to children, there's one for children. There's one for current issues if it is a current issue that you are discussing. So if we go to find database by title, the first one listed is the most general one, but you do have to be careful about this one because it has so much information. You do have to somewhat limit the options there. Academic Search Complete, if you click on that database, again, because I'm accessing it from my computer at home, it will ask me to enter the barcode number. Once you're in, you would type in your topic, and today I'm just going to use obesity as an example for my search. Now you want to limit your search, and some limiting options, you can click full text and scholarly peer-reviewed journals, because that is one of the requirements. It does have to be a scholarly journal. Other times you would and it ends up giving you newspapers and some other items that you don't really want. So once you type in your limitations and your subject, you just click search. It will give you a list of all different type, and what I would recommend is just look at the title and see if this is something that would be helpful to you, and you can just scroll down and look through the different topics. You do want to click on the PDF file full text to give you so that you can read through it all if necessary. Once you download your file, you have options. If it's a PDF file, you can print, you can save for later access. Even in your search option, you do have ability to save email to yourself, but the email option I would not recommend emailing, because if you email to yourself, then once you open up that file, it will ask you for your library card number again. So I would highly recommend, if you are on campus or at a library, you actually save it on a flash drive so that you have a hard copy of it. You'll see over here, these are once you click on an article, not necessarily the PDF file, just the actual link. Then you'll see all these options for print, email, save. There's even an option for it to cite. Again, this database is going to be slightly different from any of the other databases that you may find. All this information is available, it's just in different places. But if you click the Cite button, it will ask you for what option you want, or it will actually list all the options that you want. Again, we are using MLA. So then all you have to do is copy and paste into your file, and the citation is already done for you. Great, easy peasy. You don't have to worry about it. So that's how to use the databases. This is just one. Again, each one will be slightly different, but it has similar functions. Just look around, make sure that you're limiting your options to a full text, limiting it to scholarly, peer-reviewed options. Now, when you go to look for the internet and you go to do a search, you will also find one source will come from the internet. I am just using obesity for example here in my searching for Google, and you will notice within here there are options. You're looking at what is listed below the blue link. This one is a .gov site. Now, .gov site usually is very informative. A lot of times it has a lot of great facts, figures, statistics. So that is one of the options that you're looking for, is .gov. Another option is a .org. Okay, .org is usually nonprofit organizations that are there to help you try to get information. Is there going to be a bias? Sometimes, but not. There is not a push for sharing money or links with you. Now, you do have to be careful, and the textbook talks about this, is you want to stay from Wikipedia or any wikis in general. The reason being is that with wikis, anyone can update and edit these. And so even though they are attempting for it to be an encyclopedia, it is not a scholarly encyclopedia. It is by whoever wants to post the information, and the information is not always accurate. So you do want to stay away from Wikipedias or just wikis in general. So you can do a .gov, you can do a .org, or if you find something, a .edu, meaning that it is linked to education, a university. It's usually a professor that posted it. So that is good information as well. We don't want something like the New York Times. We don't want newspapers. We don't want .com. Okay, so those are the options for your internet and using the website for your website requirement. So let's look at the requirement one more time for this assignment. Pick a previous writing assignment from this course. Integrate a minimum of 3 sources using direct quote and or paraphrase summary. One must be from a website, .org.gov.edu, and 2 sources must be from an academic journal or a book found via hard copy or using a database. Additionally, you will write an annotated bibliography for your 3 sources. So let's talk about what is an annotated bibliography, what does it look like, and what do you need to do. We're looking at a handout that I have posted online. This is from the OWL at Purdue, the online writing lab, which I love their website. They have great handouts for all different types of writing. So with an annotated bibliography, what you're doing is you are summarizing and evaluating your sources. Now, there are 3 facets: summarize, assess or analyze or evaluate, and reflect. So those are the 3 that you're going to be doing for each of your 3 required sources that you're adding. Okay, so you can read more about these. There's also an example listed here as well. Different types of student examples, and then I also have my own student example that I have provided. Now you'll notice that her example is going to be much longer than yours because, again, this comes from previous requirements in the course where we did a lot more research, and that was the purpose of the course that we were doing. And so you will see within here what it looks like, how she did all 3 elements for that requirement. So good luck on your research project, and we will go step by step throughout the whole process to help you be successful.